of Virginia, I believe, especially if you like it a little salty. But you're going to pay for it. There's no doubt about it. It's pricey for sure. But I wanted to introduce
you gotta get the
Justin.
peanuts, Dennis. You gotta get the peanuts.
You can get the peanuts too, for sure. The boiled peanuts. And then
Always be selling. ABS. Always be selling.
Franklin and get yourself some paper too. So I want to introduce Justin Grant, who is, I'm gonna have to pop off here in a little bit, but Justin is the manager of our Great Neck office. If you're familiar at all with the Virginia Beach area, that is on Shore Drive, where a lot of people live, where a lot of people vacation. There's some new hotels that are just being built right now. But right there, right next to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, right next to the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, beautiful, beautiful area, and with a lot of real estate. Justin has about 50 agents, and they do a lot of business in that office. Justin was formerly an agent with us, signed on. He used to work for a large bank and then became a real estate agent with us and was selling for a little over 5 years. And then in 2018, we were actually, we were out of town, and I tapped Justin on the shoulder and I said, hey, I think I have an opportunity for you. And Justin has been managing and leading our Great Neck office ever since. So Justin's on today to talk about Buyside. Buyside is a platform that we rolled out almost a year ago today, like right when the pandemic was hitting. And the name of it is a misnomer. So really it is for listings, and it's a platform that can help you leverage your business to attract more listings. And there's multiple ways that it does that. One big one is that it doesn't just show price. It just doesn't show the seller, hey, you could get, you can get more money for your home. It actually shows them the demand via heat map, almost like you might see if, talking about weather. And they have, like, if it's going to rain a lot, they might have dark blue. If it's going to rain a little bit, it's going to have light blue. Well, this one's going to show you the demand for that potential listing. Any seller can go in and claim their property and actually see what the demand is for their home. And we know that right now, what's driving price more than anything is demand, okay? Because there's a scarcity of inventory. So it's a great it's a great prospecting tool. It's wonderful. I was on a listing appointment on Friday with some agents actually in my neighborhood, and we were able to use it on that to win the listing. And this was a listing for about $2.5 million. So you can use it all over the spectrum price range. But it really is a fantastic tool. It also plays in some of the reverse prospecting, and will show you. I think Nita might have gone over it a couple weeks ago, but it does show you. Some leads that have come in through Real Scout. Now we're going to need some time, and you are going to need some time to get your buyers up on Real Scout so we can get those leads from that reverse prospecting side. But just alone with the heat map and the demand feature of this tool, it is so important. It can really, really help drive listings to you, because it not only, when you're talking to a seller about, hey, maybe you want to potentially sell, the price is one thing, right? That's great. They know that. But then also just seeing the demand and the amount of people visually that might want to purchase their home has gotten a lot of folks, at least in Hampton Roads and the other markets that we cover, has gotten them off the fence. And you can bake it into your hand of presentation. You can post it. Justin's going to show you how to post it on social media. And I mean, it's just interesting because we were voted now with Buyside the #1 seller site in the country. And this business runs off of listings. But meanwhile, all the real estate sites, and for a while ours was too, but they're all for who? They're all for the buyer, which is kind of crazy, right? We got enough buyers out there. How many of them are actually driving listings? So that's really what this tool is. To boil it down to a 10-word answer. This platform is to help drive listings to you and help convert potential sellers into sellers. So I got to hop off. I'm going to leave it to Justin. I hope to see you all soon. I might be in town next week, and if Michael lets me come in, but maybe I'll bring some peanuts with me or some ham. We'll see. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Dennis, for the introduction. I appreciate it. And thank you, Michael, for having us this morning. Thank you all for hopping on the call. It's great to see everyone. Again, my name is Justin Grant. I manage the Great Neck office here in Virginia Beach. We are in the Bay area, so we're called the Locals Beach. away from the tourists and thousands of people that kind of travel here throughout the spring and summer. Not so much last year with COVID, but so if you're ever in the area, pop in. We got a lot of great restaurants, a lot of good fishing, and lots of good things to do.
Justin, how close are you to Chesapeake?
My office is in the northern part of Virginia Beach, so I can get to Chesapeake in 30 minutes, no problem.
Oh, okay, never mind. I have a real good friend who just opened up a Chick-fil-A down there, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I didn't realize that. Is that a franchise?
Oh yeah, Chick-fil-A is a very, very extensive training discipline to get a shop. He's been in Charlottesville for the last several years.
Yeah.
And he finally got his own standalone store. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
that's good.
Sorry to digress.
No, it's fine. Listen, I'm a big fan of Chick-fil-A. But again, thank you guys for joining the call. I want this to be interactive, so please stop me at any point if you guys have questions. Don't want to talk at you for the next, half an hour and put you to sleep. Fun story, I bought a second webcam over the weekend. I've been at home recording some training videos for our new learning management system that's coming up. And I thought it'd be great to have a webcam at home and a webcam at the office. So I bought a second webcam this weekend. Both of them are at home. So I'm operating off of a laptop with one screen. So you guys bear with me. To my earlier point, today is not a good day for technology for me. So I'm going to share my screen. Actually, Michael, would you be able to allow screen sharing or make me the host so I can do that?
My bad. Hang on 1 second.
It's all good. We'll take this opportunity to put my phone on vibrate.
You got it.
There we go. Thank you. All right. So within your GoHanna platform, have you guys had a chance to go in and kind of play around with GoHanna? I know a lot of this is still new for you guys. Have you guys obviously have access to this and know how to get to this screen, correct? Okay, good stuff. So you've got a couple of different ways to access Buyside. So you've got a widget here, Buyside Agent Dashboard. You can also go under Agent Tools, and it's kind of one of the first links here that is going to pop up for you, Buyside, which is going to take you to your dashboard. Mine is going to look a little bit different as a manager, so bear with me. I'm going to switch over to an Agent View dashboard so you can see what yours will look like. Come on. All right, so within your dashboards, and again, keep in mind, we're non-competing brokers here, so we don't have our own clients. So my buyers list is going to look really slim, and my listing list is going to look really slim. So I've got 0 buyers, I've got 0 listings. If you had buyers set up in the system, they would show here. If you had listings set up in the system, they would show here as well. You've got notifications to the right, so I don't have any notifications. And then you have valuations. And I'm going to come back to this here in a little bit, along with the notifications and messages, because if I kind of explain this right now, it's not going to make as much sense as if I hold off on that for a little bit. So I'm going to click on valuation attempts, though, so you can see what this looks like. This is actually an attempt that I did, an investment property that I sold here back in October. And I use this property a lot for examples and presentations. So this says that on March 8th at 11:17 a.m., someone came in and wanted to know what the value of this property was. And I know that that was me, so I'm not really concerned about reaching out to that individual, but this is where your leads are going to show up. So Dennis talked about driving leads and creating those listings for you. That's really what the system is designed to do. And then once you get that listing appointment, the system is designed to help you secure that listing and get that seller to sign on the dotted line and make that commitment to work with you. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard here, and we're going to start with the home valuation link. So you can obtain that through Marketing Suites, and you've got home valuation site here. I'm going to click on that, and that allows you to do a couple of things. One, that's going to allow you to add this link into your email signature. So you've got an icon here for email signature valuation links. And you can do one of two things. You can either select and paste the text into your signature settings in whatever email platform that you're using, or you can press the copy link button and then paste that into your signature line within your email. Okay, that's automatically going to create this link that says what's your home worth. get 3 automated estimates instantly, no cost, no obligation. Once you guys are in this signature link, I believe you can change the text a little bit. It doesn't change the hyperlink, but that's going to take you to the website that buyers are going to see, sellers are going to see when they sign into this platform. So let's see what that looks like. All right. Actually, I'm just going to click on. So the other option that you have within the valuation site is to share on social media. I forgot to go over that. And so this you can share to Facebook, Twitter, and some other social media accounts. This is designed to capture leads for you guys. So let's say you share this on your social media, someone shares it on their social media, and it just keeps getting shared. And at some point, someone that you don't know clicks on this link and they fill out the information in the link. That's going to come back to you in the form of an email. If you remember on our dashboard, we had a My Leads section. That's going to pop up there. Valuations, valuation attempts. So you're going to get an email stating this person at this address has requested information about the value of their property. And that's your opportunity to reach out to them and introduce yourself and hopefully get an appointment to come and take a look at their home to help them value the property, right? So that's all within the home valuation site. You can embed that link into your email, and you also have the option to share this to social media, okay? The other thing that we can do here is preview the site. And this is what sellers are going to see when they click on the link for your site. It's custom to you. It pulls in all of your contact information from your GoHanna website, your photo, your name, your contact information, and then they get this search bar here. And this is where they're going to type in their address. So we're going to go back to the property that I sold in October that I owned for a few years. And I'm just going to use this as an example for you guys. And we're going to click search. All right. So they're going to auto default to a public view. And this is going to pull Google Street Maps view of the street, along with 3 different estimates of value. You'll notice that each estimate has a range, so 329 to 356, and this estimate says 343. Now, this property here that's panning is actually the property that I sold, so it's going to give you a screenshot of that property as well as the neighbor properties. This one has a price range of 316 to 378, pretty wide range with an estimated value of 347. This one has a range of 312, 315 to 321, 754, and an average of 317. These are kind of designed to be wide ranges. And the reason for that is we want that seller to still feel a need to contact you and say, you know what, Justin, I'm looking at this and I think we're in the ballpark, but obviously 317 to 347, that's a pretty wide range. Where do you think we fall in this? So we don't want them to get the information, look at the information, and feel like they don't have a need to still contact you and reach out. So this is pulling from multiple different sources. You've got home valuation as one website here. Public data is powering this range, and SmartZip is powering this range. Any questions on the home valuation site? Within this, we have several options. I'm going to go in and actually say I'm the owner. So I'm going to click on this. They can verify ownership either through Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn. I'm going to click on Facebook. It's going to automatically link to my Facebook page and allow me to claim this property as my own. And it is thinking very hard about this. Someone have a question? All right, so verify ownership. When did you purchase the property? I happen to know that I sold this last year. Actually, I bought it in 2016. Sold it last year in 2020, so I'm going to click next steps. Thank you for claiming the home. We've enrolled you in receiving monthly updates on your home. So they're going to receive monthly emails. So it's a link to my social media now. And this is going to generate automatically an email to me stating that someone has requested information about the value of their property. Again, that's my opportunity to reach out to that individual via phone call, letter in the mail, or a knock on the door and say, hey, listen, I see you clicked on my link, and I'd love to help you identify true value of your home. So if you scroll down here, there's an opportunity for them to designate the condition of the property. I happen to know that that property was in really good condition. It was a flip when I bought it, so everything had been renovated prior to me moving in. And if you scroll down, Dennis touched on this briefly. This is what we call our heat map. This identifies the hot pockets of real estate within the area. So if you look at this, this property falls in one of the most active markets or sub-markets within Hampton Roads within Virginia Beach. But this is a conversation that we can have with that seller as they're deciding whether or not they want to list the property. And obviously in this market, we're very strong sellers market. So there's not as much concern over, is the property going to sell? When is the property going to sell? But this is powerful, impactful information, especially when we get into the more balanced market and or a more buyer's market. That you are in one of the most active markets and submarkets in our region. And we are confident that we're going to value your property accurately and that it's going to sell quickly for top dollar. Any questions on the heat map here?
I do have a question, Justin. Yeah, is that heat map just based on buyers that Howard Hanna agents have put into the system like Real Scout, or is that something broader?
Great question. So the data is actually pulling directly from our IDX feed within our website, which attaches directly to the, your local MLS. So this is actually MLS data. This is not just Howard Hanna buy-side data. We're going to talk about where the buyers come from, and that is specifically Howard Hanna buyers. But for the purpose of the heat map, that is actually pulling an IDX feed from the local MLS. Great question. Any other questions on the heat map? All right. So we're going to drill down here. This kind of gives you some averages by price range and by bedrooms. And then what I really want to look at is buyer activity in the last 90 days. So this is going to pull, again, from IDX feeds attached to your local MLS. And this says that 37 million online activities, including or inside your network, 141,000 online activities within a 5-mile radius of this property, 21,000 online activities within a 5-mile radius within the home's price range, and 8,000 hits of online activity within a 5-mile radius and within the home's price range looking for a 3-bedroom, okay? So this helps give a visual and quantitative data that we can take back to the seller and say, you know, these are the data points, these are the online activities around your property. It's very strong. You know, this speaks to a strong seller's market. Again, few days on market, selling for top dollar. So these are buyers searching right now in your area. And then to me, this is the most impactful part of buy side, especially once you've secured the listing appointment. What this is Howard Hanna buyers that we have set up in Real Scout who are on a search where this home meets their criteria. It falls somewhere in the range of what they're looking for in terms of location, price, bedrooms, bathrooms, etc. And so the reason that this is impactful, especially as we get to a more balanced market and flip back to a buyer's market over time, the conversation with the sellers is, Mr. and Ms. Seller, we're going to be very proactive in reaching these buyers. We are not going to put your property on the market and hope it sells. We are not just going to list the property and cross our fingers. I can contact these agents today if you decide to list with me, and we can get these buyers in the door. And I'm going to show you what this looks like on the back end on the dashboard and how we do that. But each of these buyer IDs are coded, so we want to protect their privacy. So we don't have access directly to that individual buyer, but we are going to have access to that Howard Hanna agent. And I'll show you guys in a minute how to contact that agent and what that looks like. Any questions on this section? We're good? All right. So this is what the seller is going to see. There's also some nearby cells that they can take a look at. Again, pulling directly an IDX feed from our local MLS to give them kind of an idea of where those price ranges came from. So that makes it easier to have that conversation when we show up for the listing appointments. All right, so let's go back over. And we are going to look at BMA. So everybody knows what a CMA is, right? A comparative market analysis. Excuse me, this is a buyer market analysis. And this is something that's very easy to incorporate into your listing presentations. It's going to have a lot of the same data that we just went over in an easily accessible format that you can just copy and paste, slide into your listing presentations versus the seller going directly to the website and pulling it themselves. So really quickly, I'm going to show you what that looks like. If I can spell my property correctly. And it's very user-friendly, guys. You go in, you answer a few questions, and it generates the presentation for you. Have you guys had an opportunity to go through HANA presentations for training?
Just once, just very basically.
It's this integrates with HANA presentations, and so there's actually a couple of slides that have already been added to the library that's going to pull from this. So you guys may see this in your HANA presentations as you're playing around with that. But if you just wanted to create a standalone buy-side or BMA, this is how you would do that. So we're going to make sure that the details of the property are accurate. We're going to look at values. You can either select the ranges that were predetermined to include in your BMA, and or you can create your own range. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do 340 to 350. I actually sold this property for 345. So just so you know, these ranges are very, very accurate for the most part. And then we're going to identify the range of buyers that we want to target for this. So this is going to change the PDF in terms of how many featured buyers we have on here. We know we're recommending to the seller that we're going to list this property somewhere between 340 and 350. But let's say we want to target buyers just a little bit above that. So we're going to look at 330 to 360. In this case, it didn't change our number of buyers that we have, 21 featured buyers. And then we're going to generate our PDF, which is our BMA or our buy-side buyer's market analysis. And I'm pulling from multiple sources here, so it takes a few seconds. Bear with me, I appreciate it. All right, so now our report is ready to go. I'm going to click View Reports. You can save this as a PDF. You can print it off and incorporate it into your listing presentations. You can attach this in an email and send it to your client. But very well done, high quality. It says real-time market report for 248 South Parliament Drive. It's automatically grabbed my photo, my information, my contacts, and included that in here as well, with active links that they can click on for my website and my home valuation website as well. Well, I partner with Howard Hanna when selling a house. They've got talking points here to read through. And then you've got your real-time valuation. So this has included the two ranges that I chose to include. And it's also said Justin suggested value range of 340 to 350. And these kind of fall within that, right? This is going to include your buyer heat map as well, so that they can see where they fall in the submarkets in your region, as well as your online activity report for the last 90 days. And then finally, your 21 active buyers looking in that price range of 330 to 360. So again, super easy, super fast. You can plug and chug this into your existing listing presentations. And now you've got real-time market data that you can speak to help secure the listing and let that seller know that we are not just going to throw the property on the market and hope that it sells. We're going to be proactive in making sure that it sells. And more importantly, that we do that with partner agents within our company that we know that are going to get the job done. You know, deals always tend to run smoother when they are in-house, right? You hope. Any questions on the BMA?
I have another question, Justin.
Yeah, sure.
If we don't have any presentations currently set up in Howard Hanna, do we have to do that before we can use this?
You mean within Hanna presentations?
Correct.
No, so you can go in and create a standalone BMA at any point. You don't need to do anything specific in Hanna presentations. I don't know how they've set your Hanna presentations up in your region. In our region, we have templates that we kind of pulled the pages that we like and we've created a template. You can go into Hanna presentations, create your own template. And a few of those pages are from the BMA. And so what's included in those templates for us are the heat map, the online activity report, and the featured buyers section. So that should be already in your HANA presentations that you can add. And if not, it should be coming soon. So you can do either or. You can go into HANA presentations and just check off those pages that you want to include in your listing presentation report, or you can come directly into Buyside and create a freestanding BMA.
Okay, but currently in the Charlottesville market, we would not really have any active buyers that would show up in a BMA.
Yeah, so as you guys integrate and adopt Real Scout, these numbers are going to get stronger because that's where it pulls from. So one of the great things about our systems is that, let's stop share for just a second. One of the great things about our systems are that they all talk to each other. So you've got Open to Close, which is our open house registration platform that's going to feed into Engage, which is our CRM database. And then you've got the Buyside program. So as you incorporate and enroll your buyers, Real Scout, which is a home finder source, Open to Close, which is open house registration form, and Engage, they're all going to talk to one another and start to add those buyers into the system. So again, as you guys adopt these systems and start using them more and more, this is going to become a stronger tool for you to use as you go on your listing presentation. Great question.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Hey, Jay and Justin, I just want to say that I'm in the GoHanna presentations, and there are templates already in there. So
awesome.
It looks like Buyside will interact, play nice. Hopefully,
yes.
If it's a good technology day, it'll work.
Yep, absolutely, it does. And the HANA presentations, guys, are just as easy. You go in most cases, you can just copy and paste an MLS number, and it will pull all the data from the MLS. And really all you're doing is choosing the photos that you want to use, making sure that the data is correct, choosing the sheets that you want in your presentation, and it compiles everything for you. Within HANA presentations, and I'm going a little bit off topic right now, you can also create your open house flyers in about 30 seconds. So really cool systems that fortunately for us all talk to one another and pull data. So you don't have to do that work, 2 and 3 times over.
So if I have some prospective sellers right now, and I haven't created a presentation in HANA presentations, I could just go into this Buyside, basically put in their address,
absolutely,
and generate that report, and everything is going to be there that you just showed us.
Yes, for that report. Now so the BMA, if you create a freestanding BMA and Buyside, that is, and then you go into HANA presentations and create a separate listing presentation for them. Those 2 presentations are not going to merge, but you don't need to have that seller in HANA presentations to be able to go into Buyside and create a standalone BMA.
Yeah, so I could just go into Buyside and do that and create that PDF and send it to them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And explain why there aren't a lot of active buyers.
Exactly. You guys have just merged with Howard Hanna, and these are new tools and new platforms for you. And as the company uses them more and adopts this technology, those numbers are stronger. The buyers are out there.
Right.
We're working to get them integrated into this platform so that we have direct access to them.
Right.
Yep. Good questions. Any other questions before we move on to our next topic? All right. So let's move back over. And we're going to go back into our Buyside dashboard website. All right, so you guys see now I have 3 valuation attempts. That's increased. I think I did it duplicate when I went in this morning. So this actually, so now you can see what data comes through, right? I've actually got email address here. Looks like my Facebook integrated as well. So I've got access to that. What other data? Create BMAs, and I can also assign it to an agent because I'm a manager. You guys probably don't have that option as an individual agent. So this individual claimed the property and is subscribed to monthly updates. on that property. But this would be your opportunity to go in and reach out to the seller. Thank you so much for visiting my website. I see that you want more information on your property. I'm here to help. What's a good date and time that we can connect and maybe take a tour? All right. So as I mentioned, I'm a non-competing broker, so I don't have my own listings. If you did, they would be listed here, and you would simply click on them. I have, let's see if it will let me pull up my old listing from when I had that on the market, archive listings. Okay, so here we go. Perfect. So when you go into your listings, this is what it's going to look like. Of course, you've got all the information that you've included into the MLS, but more importantly, you've got data now that you can utilize. So I mentioned, it looks like this particular listing had 21 buyers attached to it. And these are the 21 buyers with match rating. So this is 100% match, and it goes all the way down to about a 30% match, which means really only one or two pieces of that home met that buyer's criteria. So I can be very selective in who I reach out to, or if I want to send an email out to everyone, I simply select all here, and I can alter the text that they're going to get, or I can just leave it as is. And it says, I may have the perfect listing for your buyer. I provided the property information and listing price below. Please contact me for more information. Let's see if we can make a deal happen together. If I click send email, that email is automatically going to go out to those 21 Howard Hanna agents with a link to the listing so that they can pull up the property and identify whether or not it's going to be a good fit for their buyer. So this is what I mean when I say we're being very proactive in reaching out to those clients to make sure that Howard Hanna agents in particular have first opportunity to get in and make an offer. Any questions on the listing side of this? No, we're good. All right, I want to talk about this really briefly. So this kind of gives you a range and shows how the numbers work if we were to adjust that price a little bit. So right now it looks like that 335 mark, 318 to 335 is kind of our sweet spot. We have the majority of our buyers in that window. If we were to increase the price to 351, 750, we lose 5 buyers. If we were to decrease the price to 301, 500, we would lose 2 buyers, right? So this helps us in identifying a price range as well, and having the conversations with the sellers who are not really ready to do a price reduction. And again, in this market, we don't see a lot of that. We are going to get to a point, back to more balanced markets or buyers markets, where that is going to become important data that we have to be able to speak to. Ryan says, what a great tool. Absolutely, Ryan, I agree. All right, any other questions on the listing side of this? Pretty easy peasy, right? It's very user-friendly, guys. Once you get around in this and play around and get a feel for where to find things, very, very easy to use and apply to your existing listing presentation, whatever strategies and systems you have in place. All right, my buyers. So again, if you have buyers in Real Scout or you enroll buyers in Open to Close at your open houses, they're automatically going to show up here. I have some inactive buyers. These are buyers that we put in when I did open houses for or with some of my newer agents. So this is what that would look like. Listing matches, you can go in, you can be proactive and see what Howard Hanna listings match their criteria. You can also see the emails that they have received from the program. So it looks like this buyer, actually, this was an email from another agent. So I had this buyer enrolled into Buyside. I actually had him enrolled into Real Scouts and Open Close from an open house. And it looks like I received an email November 30th that another agent within the company sent me an email saying that she had a listing that this buyer might be interested in. So that is what this looks like on the on the receiving end. So Ginger Walton, excuse me, had this property listed single family for $449 and thought it may be of interest to my clients. And so she utilized this tool to make sure that that listing got in front of me so that I could get it in front of that buyer. All right. Let's see, one of the last couple of things I want to talk about, and again, if you guys have questions, feel free to stop me. Last thing I want to do is put you to sleep.
Can I jump in again, Justin, with another question?
Absolutely.
So with the emails that the listing agents can send to the buyer's agents who've been identified as potential buyers,
yep,
I'm wondering what kind of feedback you're getting from those buyer's agents on sort of the efficiency and accuracy of those matches and communications. Are they finding them to be valuable and generally pretty good fits for their buyers, or is their inbox flooded with stuff that might not be such great fits?
That's a great question, Jay. If I'm being very honest, I have not gotten a lot of feedback about that at my level. I know that agents are using it. I know that they find it beneficial. In terms of how well of a fit that is, that's not feedback that I've heard yet, but that's a good talking point for my next team meeting, my next sales meeting. So I'll take that back to the team and get some feedback for you.
Okay, I'm wondering because we all have searches set up within MLSs, right? We get those emails, you know.
Right, and absolutely, and it's tough right now because of course you've got all your buyers set up on an ASAP search, right? Because if they wait till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, the property's gone.
Right.
We're all getting 32 emails a day for that one client.
Right.
You're getting 32 emails. If we had that many properties coming on the market, we probably wouldn't be in the seller's market that we are, right?
Right.
That's a great question. That's one that I'll have to get some more information for you.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Any other questions? All right, let's jump back in. I got one or two more things to go over with you guys, and then we will call it a day unless you have questions. So I want to go into the find feature. So if you want to reverse engineer this and find a buyer, maybe a buyer for an upcoming listing, you can do that within the system. So our MLS, and I know you guys probably noticed here, find non-MLS listings. Our MLS in our area does not allow coming soon. So Howard Hanna has the Find It First program, which is very popular. And a great tool in some of our other markets. Unfortunately, our MLS right now, we're working to hopefully get around that a little bit, does not allow coming soon listings. So when you see find non-MLS listings, that's what it's utilizing is the Find It First program. If I were to click on that, it would redirect me up to our Pittsburgh and Ohio markets where they are allowed to do coming soon. Well, let's say you want to reverse engineer buyers and find a buyer for maybe a listing that is coming up. You could do that here. Type in your city, zip code, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, price range, and how well of a fit. So when you mention, are these really good fits or are they not really good fits? There are actually star ratings. So you got 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. 4 star is going to be your best rating, meaning it checks off most of the boxes that were entered into the Real Scout system as a criteria. So you guys can, again, kind of reverse engineer this, be proactive in identifying those buyers even before it goes on the market, and reach out to those agents and say, hey, I've got something coming up that you might be interested in. All right, last thing that I want to mention, we talked about where the data comes from. Most of this pulls from Real Scouts. Some of the regional data for the heat map, for example, is going to pull from public data and your IDX feed within your local MLS. But if there's more of a deep dive that you guys want to do in this, there's a lot of good webinar and training videos. If you hover your mouse over your name within the system and go to the help section, you've got a widget here for webinars. And so if you guys get stuck at any point, you can always go back to this recording. I believe Michael's going to send this out to you guys as a recording, but you can also use this as a tool to, kind of figure out the program as well and help you guys through it. Of course, I'm available if you guys have questions, you want to email me or give me a call. I'll put my contact information in the chat line, so you guys can feel free to reach out to me as well. But a lot of good information here. I encourage you guys to go in and take a look at this and go through some of the webinars. All right, guys, that is about it. Like I said, very user-friendly, very easy to navigate. It's going to take you guys some time, obviously, to get in and play around with this and start incorporating it into your listing presentations. But again, the goal here is to generate business for you. So make sure that you are including that link in your email signature for every email that goes out, and that you guys are sharing that periodically on social media. So that's going to drive those leads and traffic into your inbox, give you the opportunity to reach out to that seller. And then whether it's a lead generated through the system or just a listing presentation that you already had on the calendar, make sure you're using this information, incorporating it into your listing presentations. This is going to help set you apart in the market, especially if you're competing against another agent. We're all seeing commission compression across their different regions. This is going to help you speak to value and help set you apart in your market to secure the listing. So make sure you're using the information. And again, it's only going to get stronger as you guys incorporate and adopt Real Scout in your area and Open to Close, which is going to feed into the Buyside platform.
Justin, real quick, from the folks that are on the call, one takeaway, what one thing did you hear today that that you could see using right away?
For you guys, it's going to be really kind of the lead gen piece of this, getting this out on social media, and listing inventory right now is so low. Everybody wants those listings. So I think for me, that's a big takeaway. Let's create the market. Let's get this information out there. Find out who, I call it shadow inventory in my market, who is on the cusp of listing their property. Let's get in front of them before they're in front of another agent. So I think that's going to be important. And then also utilizing your heat maps in your area, because again, that's pulling from public data and IDX leads or feed from your MLS. So that's information that you guys can start using today and not have to wait for that adoption of Real Scouts and Open to Close. Those are going to be strong points.
For me, it seems to me that this is sort of like the online version, folks, of creating your own inventory. We talk about writing the letters into the neighborhoods. Yeah. So you thinking about selling your home? If you can incorporate this and get this out into a geographic area that you're trying to specialize in and have people start clicking on those things because they want to know what their house is worth, you start getting an idea of who is trying to, it may be going from passive to active, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk all the time about, yeah, exactly right, saving on stamps from passive to active, is so critically important. And so not that the letter doesn't work, because it does. Everybody that sends a letter out once or twice, they get something back. I mean, Jason can certainly confirm that in regards to his efforts with that. But that this is a way that you can do an online version of it as well. And the thing that I love, that a lot of you have been coming to a lot of these classes, it all interweaves. You get into Real Scout and it downloads over here. You get over here and it downloads into Real Scout. I mean, that's the power of the GoHanna site, is that they are so intimately involved with all these companies that they have made it so that you don't have to have one over here and one over here. They come together and fit each piece to the puzzle to help you, do your business better.
Absolutely. And to that point, as you guys are sharing this on social media, make sure you're sharing it in a public setting, not just restricted to your friends, because if you don't set it to public, then your friends are not going to be able to share that link. And the goal here is to maximize exposure and increase the likelihood of someone going in and claiming their property. Michael, I think you kind of touched on it. You guys can easily plug and chug this into some Facebook ads, do some geofencing campaigns to get this link out to drive traffic back to your website. And again, at the end of the day, all we can ask for is an opportunity, and someone fills this out. So that's exactly what it is, an opportunity to earn their business.
The other piece, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Utilizing a sponsored ad on Facebook and Instagram with this would be so powerful. Mm-hmm. So I think, especially if you're geofarming specific areas, there's no better way to get in front of a bunch of eyes. So absolutely. I highly recommend that. I can help you guys with that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Can I add to that? I was paying $150 a month for a website that was like a landing page for just that, for like getting people to put in their address and get a free quote.
And now you have free estimate.
I canceled it. I canceled it immediately. Once I discovered that we had our own little landing page, I canceled it and I switched my Facebook ad to go to this one instead. And
That's
Nice.
I'm happy. I'm very happy about those savings. So
That's
Great.
awesome. You know, the other
Great,
thing,
Ryan.
too, folks, just a simple thing in here, and you probably heard it, but what could be the most powerful thing in here, even though it's simple, is when you're sitting with a seller trying to get a price adjustment and you click that price by a little bit and they watch buyers disappear. I mean,
That's amazing.
That's not you saying it. That's them seeing them disappear in front of them. And we always talk about the range, and if you get too high, blah, blah, blah. But here you click on a button and move it to price a little bit, and all of a sudden 5 buyers disappear, and you go, see, that's what I'm talking about. We've been doing that with you in regards to your algorithm as far as how many people are viewing and showing a spike when you lower a price and things. But here you can do it live. Okay, we're going to move this from 340 to 360, and all of a sudden you see people go away. I just think that's amazing.
And it's dynamic, so it's like real time, right? So it's not just a guesstimate of the buyers that you'll be losing. You actually see it in the current data, which is
Absolutely.
Which is a kind of enlightening for us, because we're moving into more of a data-driven, and I'm a data junkie when it comes to this stuff. So we're moving in more of a data-driven selling, which is the proof is in the data, right? So it's very powerful. That's a great presentation as well.
Vincent, you're just a junkie.
You are too. Apparently you are too.
I guess that makes me one too. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
I eat, breathe, and sleep numbers.
And guys,
That's
just
awesome.
so you know, just a little shout out to Vincent. You know, Justin Vincent's been meeting with the marketing team since we got involved on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
The things that Vincent's already been doing with geo marketing and geofencing, we've had that, and Vincent's now helping other areas learn how to use that, because they hadn't done that. And so, just so you guys know, we've been doing some things that other people haven't, and now we can do it even better.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm glad to hear you say that, Michael, because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, well, gosh, we could use that in our region. So, not to volunteer you for anything, Vincent, but I would be very open to having you on a Zoom call in my office.
I think in person is better, because I love the beach.
Come on down. It's warming up.
I'll get my shot and then I'm out.
Yes, come on down.
Awesome.
Maybe
Thank
do
you.
the Zoom call, Vincent, and say, just in a couple months, I think I'll be able to come down and do some follow-up with you guys. Some more.
Yeah, right. Follow-up is so important. Follow-up is very important.
Vincent, you probably be there for like 10 days, right?
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, listen, you guys have the wineries. We have a lot of microbreweries, so I feel like it's a good pair.
I'll bring you some wine.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate your questions and interaction through the presentation. I'm excited to see that you guys are excited about this. This is one of the many great tools and resources that we have within the company. We're excited to welcome you guys to the family. We're excited to have somewhere to visit in Charlottesville now. We're all excited about wine country, in case you haven't heard. But again, I just appreciate you guys jumping on the call today. If you have any questions, I'm going to put my contact information in the chat bar. You guys feel free to reach out to me anytime, and hope you guys have a great day.
Justin, that was the best one so far. Thank you very much.
Tell Dennis that.
I will. It's being recorded. Don't worry.
Yes. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All
And
right.
tomorrow, Russell's going to do a clinic on how to fix excavators. So be looking for that link.
Very
No
close.
problem.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Thank you
Bye,
very much.
guys. Thank you.